Hey Pisces, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's go. Okay, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We are looking at your weekly reading for the week of June 8th through June 14th. So let's look at what's going on in your connection at this time, Pisces. All right, so right now I want to start off looking at the biggest blocks between you and your person. What's standing in the way of this connection? Remember, if you're here on my channel, it's because you are in a separation with this person. You guys haven't spoken in a while. There's some sort of challenge or difficulty between you at this time, and it may have been going on for quite some time. So let's look at what are the biggest emotional barriers standing in the way of you guys healing, coming to some sort of understanding right now. These are jumbo therapy flashcards. Okay, so we have repression, right? So someone may be unconsciously, involuntarily using or repressing this relationship, this connection, expelling it out of their mind, right? They don't even want to think about it, right? And this may be something they're doing consciously or unconsciously, intentionally or intentionally. And this is to protect themselves from some sort of pain. So I'm definitely feeling like there's, some painful memories, some painful thoughts connected to when this person thinks about you or you come up on their spirit. Yeah, and it's because they're in denial about something, right? It's something that they don't want to face, something that they don't want to look at. And both of these, repression and denial, are defense mechanisms. Normally that's how they show up. So I feel like your person is on the defense, trying to protect themselves from being hurt or from experiencing any more emotional pain as it relates to you and the connection. Okay, and then we have narcissism. Doesn't necessarily mean that your person is a narcissist, but they may have some narcissist tendencies, right? So all about the self, protecting the self first, not really thinking about you or putting a lot of care and consideration into how you feel about how you feel at this time. They're just really trying to protect themselves. So let's look at what's underneath that. Like why is that? Because this is some pretty heavy duty energy, right? Like what's the deal with this person that would have them acting in this way right now? So when I see this means they probably are not talking to you, and when they did, it probably was a lot of projection, a lot of them blaming you, not taking responsibility, denying anything that they may have done wrong, and repressing apologies, repressing saying to you or coming toward you and saying, hey, I realize that I contributed to this too. Like this person has been unwilling to do that, and that probably has pissed you off a little bit, probably has you a little angry, hurt, upset, and at the very least just wondering like what the hell happened, what's going on, maybe even feeling a little crazy, questioning yourself as if like this was all your fault. So let's see, Pisces, what oracle cards are coming out to clarify this energy. So we have healing heart, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. So I feel like this person may be a little toxic, right? They may be in some low vibrational energy that causes them to act out in such a way that they're not able to turn the mirror on themselves, not able to look at themselves. Like looking at themselves would actually be too painful. So instead they turn the mirror on you, they blame you, right? And in turn they end up hurting you. They're not willing to take any responsibility at this time. And it's, it's a total mechanism or a total way of like protecting themselves and trying to shield themselves from being vulnerable, from expressing like what's really going on. I feel like with this person, you never really had an idea of what was ever going on, and that's probably what contributed to the challenges in the relationship. It was always like you were trying to figure them out, or figure out what went wrong, what happened, why things turned out the way that they did. And then we have soulmates. So this may be the way this person operates when they have deep feelings for someone, or when they feel a deep connection with someone. This may be a way of protecting themselves, keeping a certain distance between you two. So you may have gotten with this person, and then things were great, and as they started to progress and started to become a little deeper, this person may have pulled back, or may have even lashed out and created some sort of drama that they totally turned around on you, because again, this is how they protect themselves. This is how they keep themselves, quote unquote, safe from getting hurt. Yep. And they didn't want to go too deep. They didn't want to let you in and let you know how they really feel. This card, the love call, talks about someone being able to express love, someone being able to express a message of love, and thinking of you and letting you know. This person, yeah, that's not their deal. That's not their deal. I feel like this person really put a shield around their heart and would not let you in. Like they only let you in so far, and then once you started to get too close, they totally pushed you away, right? Look, and at the bottom of the deck, we have the hammer, which is all about self-sabotage, right? This card talks about self-sabotage, interrogation, repetitiveness. I feel like this is something that they do over and over and over again, relationship after relationship, and maybe not just in their romantic relationships, because they don't want to get too close. They don't want to get too close, and when they do, they push it down, they repress, they deny. It's very narcissistic energy. They may not be a narcissist, but that's definitely how they present. So let's get some tarot cards to clarify all of that. Yeah, so we have the Five of Swords. We have the Wheel, Karma. And we have the Seven of Cups. So I feel like this was a very karmic kind of connection. There may have been a karmic contract that needed to be filled, right? Maybe this, this is even presenting to me as if it could be like a catalyst twin flame, a false twin flame type of energy, because from what I'm seeing, like this person, or it could also just be this person not being mature enough at this point to really take responsibility and work on the issues that were brought up in this connection. Because with this Five of Swords here, I feel like they're really into playing mind games, trying to have control of the situation, trying to dominate over you, outthink you, outtalk you, not really allowing you to express yourself and present your side. And that's because the way this wheel is turning, right? Remember, we had the wheel here. I feel like they didn't want this connection to play out to its full destiny, right? They didn't want this fated connection. I mean, it's obviously fated here. We have the SoulMates card here, but they didn't want it to play out. They didn't want to fulfill on the contract. So instead they pulled back. It's like they reneged, actually. I mean, we have repressed and we have denial here. They literally intentionally reneged on this contract because they're afraid of where it might go, right? Who knows how this wheel may actually end up turning. They were not willing, they have not been willing to find out, right? And like I said, because they didn't know where it was going, Seven of Cups, right? Seven of Cups is a card of lots of options, many choices, many things happening at one time. illusion, confusion, you know what I mean? And it can also come up as like a warning, a red flag. And so I feel like this person saw this as a red flag, and so they pulled back, they shut down, they went silent, right? The Seven of Cups is coming out under narcissism and love call. So they refused to make the call. They refused to answer the call, I should say. So when that call, when the phone rang, when the SoulMates phone rang, they said, sorry, nobody's home. And this is like, for them, in their mind, they feel like this is how they have to shield themselves, protect themselves from anything that, you know, could potentially entrap them or hurt them. So let's get a little more about that. Like, let's get a little more about their energy right now. So we have Gemini, and this is unite. So your person very well may be a Gemini air sign. We are in Gemini season right now. So they may be also thinking about communication, the way that they relate to other people, like all of that stuff that Gemini has to do with. But I'm feeling strongly that your person may be a Gemini and or have a lot of Gemini placements in their chart. If nothing else, they're operating in that shadowy Gemini energy, right? It's like good twin, bad twin, like never know which one you're gonna get. It's like they totally flipped the switch on you, right? It was like things were progressing along, things were going good, and then all of a sudden, boom, once things started getting too close, too deep, they pulled it back and was like, we gotta keep it surface level. At least that's what you picked up on. They may not have ever said that, but you definitely picked up on that energy, and they definitely pulled things back. And then we have, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. Well, I am. Camelopardalis, which is the energy of convey, right? So again, like I said, we're in Gemini season right now. Gemini is all about communication, all about, you know, how we relate with one another, right? So there may be some things that they want to convey to you, but because of this energy of, you know, denial and repression, it's like they won't, like they can't, they have not been able to like come out of their shell in order to do so. I feel like this person is like a clam, like literally closed the door shut on their heart in terms of this connection, and they're only willing to allow you in so much, right? And that means that they're not willing to convey their true feelings to you in some way. Like they'll give you a little bit off the top, they'll let you in a little bit, but they will not totally open the door up. And that's because they're trying to literally control how the wheels of this relationship, of this connection turn, so they can manage, you know, the feelings, the emotions connected to it. All right, and then we have Coma Berenices, decorate. So I don't know what these cards are. Someone gave me these cards. They didn't come in a box. They don't have a guidebook or anything, but they do have constellations on them. And this one says decorate. So I feel like, you know, on the surface, they want things to look good, like they're trying to, you know, wrap this up and package it nice and pretty, which, you know, with this narcissistic energy here that came up earlier, totally makes sense, because a narcissist type person, whether or not this person really is a narcissist, right? They can have narcissist tendencies, and a part of that can be, you know, making things look really nice on the outside, making things sound really good on the outside, but underneath, you know, it's really just pretty decoration on top. Underneath, it's like poop, like boo-boo, right? It's like a big old mess that they've just kind of covered up and made it look pretty, but when you open it, it's like, ugh, not only does it not look good, it stinks. it really stinks. And so I feel like this person, they're not being authentic, they're not being genuine, they're playing a lot of mind games and leaving you in the dark as a result. So let's get some tarot cards to clarify that energy, see what this inauthenticity is about, like what's at the heart of it, what's at the heart of this energy, you know what I mean? It's like, what's the deal? So we have Ace of Swords, we have the Hierophant, and we have the Eight of Wands. Yeah, I feel like this person is afraid. They may really be afraid to actually tell the truth about what's really going on with them, right? And because of that, they hold back, right? With the Hierophant here, this tells me this person is not stupid, right? They get it, they got it, they know what's going on. The Hierophant is all about spiritual wisdom, spiritual knowledge, right? Tradition. It can be about tradition, but it's typically someone, you know, who knows what's going on, who's awakened on some level. And I feel like this person tends to play dumb for some reason. Like, and I want to look at, you know, like why is that? Like, why would someone intentionally hide themselves away like that? And so for that, I'm going to pull another one of these therapy flashcards. Like, why are they hiding away when they really know what the deal is? Like, I feel like there's an element of like closure that's missing here that they're refusing to step into and just offer, right? With this Ace of Swords here, they really could just offer you some clarity, offer you some truth. With this Hierophant here, this tells me that they have the knowledge to do that. And with this Eight of Wands here, it tells me that they even have the desire a little bit, but they keep holding back. And I feel like it's because they're so used to operating in this narcissistic kind of energy that they don't even, it might, you know, it may be out of their reach to even be real, you know, to keep it real. So let's see, what's the block there? So we have obsession, right? This card talks about recurrent and persistent thoughts, impulses, and ideas experienced as being very intrusive and distressing. So I feel like with this person, they're really working hard to just, you know, put this out of their mind. Again, we had denial. That's what it is. They're just in this state of denial that they're not able to get out of. Like, even though, like, I feel like with this Eight of Wands here, this is about them going around and around and around in their minds, right? And look, it came out under the Seven of Cups. It's like, as soon as they get to the point where it's like, okay, I want to come forward, I want to, you know, express this, I should say this, then they're back like, nope, no, I shouldn't, because XYZ. So this person literally like talks themselves out of being authentic. They talk themselves out of being real, and they can't even face that, like, because they get that they know it's wrong. They know it's not right. Like, they know they should tell the truth, but because they're in this, you know, Five of Swords energy, mind games, control, it's like they're caught up in their own loop, right? So I want to look at, you know, how this person feels about you, what they actually want to say to you, what is the truth, and I want to get some advice to you. So we'll head on over to the extended to do that. You can find the link to that down in the description box below. And here's the deal. Guess what, Pisces? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you for hanging with me in the reading. I hope you got something out of this. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and don't you ever, ever, ever forget that you are worthy and you are loved. Peace.